and welcome to another exciting edition of Morning Delight. My name is John Ime, your usual host on the show. We are glad to have you back on the show. We have a whole lot lined up for you, but I'm not here alone. I'm here with my co-host, Praise Udio. Praise, how are you this morning?
Very well, thank you. Good morning to you, John. We are delighted to have you join us live on this good entertainment show. Do stay with us and sit back.
We have all the usual lineup on the show. We have words of wisdom to kickstart your inspirational journey. We have quick cuisine. We have the guest segment. What other segments do we have?
We have entertainment,
highlights during the week, and of course, sports. So make sure you're there while we're here to give you the best of entertainment. But before we kickstart the show, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, let's kickstart the show now with our first on the lineup, which is Words of Wisdom. Let's see some inspirational quotes for today on Words of Wisdom. Okay, that's some inspirational quotes there from Words of Wisdom.
Joining us live in the studio this morning is Honorable Charity Igodala Agobamehia, the member representing Ovia Northeast and the minority leader of EDHA. You're welcome, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here. Good morning, Edo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, my very sagacious people of Obia Northeast One constituency. Today is a day to celebrate, to be happy about, a day that the world and these people decided to set aside to celebrate peace, development, and progress.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming on Morning Delight, this studio. But we have a report that we are going to show to you on United Nations at 80. So let's see the report now.
October 24th, the United Nations celebrates to mark the 80th anniversary of the UN founding in 1945. As a global intergovernmental organization, and its works are guided by the purpose and principles contained in its founding charter. Let us hear some experts who tell us more about the UN.
In assessing what the United Nations has done so far, we must say that there has been a phenomenal reduction in terms of the conflicts or types of conflicts that had actually inundated the world before the establishment of the United Nations. But one of the things that we always point out is that conflict is innate in human relations and is also innate in relationships among states, and that is saying that is bound to occur. Conflicts are bound to occur, but what the United Nations has been trying to do is to try as much as possible through efforts of mediation, arbitration, and others to minimize the occurrence of war and, of course, escalating to the global status as it happened in the First and Second World War.
The United Nations is a body that came into existence to perpetrate the reign of the superpowers over the years. You can't appreciate it unless you go back to 1884 when Otto von Bismarck, the then head of the German Empire, called the European nations together, including America and the Ottoman Empire, and they divided Africa among themselves. That division is what we are still working on. That 1884 treaty lasted. Their friendship lasted very well until the First World War. By the First World War, friendship collapsed. And then they went their various ways. And then the League of Nations came on. The League of Nations is what gave birth to the United Nations. So you ask, if you say, what is the United Nations doing? What did the League of Nations do? They protected themselves until quarrel came. So what I am saying is that what you are seeing in Africa today is a perpetration of what von Bismarck started in 1884. The United Nations is not looking at the progress of Africa. Yes, in principles they are looking at peace all over the world, but are they really interested in peace?
The UN has evolved over the years to keep pace with a rapidly changing world. Let's hear more.
The United Nations has existed these past 80 years to protect the sovereignty of nations, and also the dignity of peoples and their rights. And in carrying out this primary responsibility, other organs of the United Nations have developed, like the United Nations Refugee Commission, the United Nations UNICEF, and some other organs which are in operation here in Nigeria.
It is testament and testimony to the usefulness of the United Nations that both in peacetime, in conflict time, in even greater war times, it has always answered to the needs of humanity. It is not enough, but then whatever they are doing, I believe, is commendable, and they should sustain it and make it broader and more far-reaching than what it is right now.
My advice is that we should stop looking forward to nations, to the United Nations, but look at a nation like Burkina Faso and see what they have been able to do for themselves.
The United Nations has really contributed greatly to that aspect of our national development, and I would like to ask them to continue in that regard for our country, Nigeria.
Let us recognize the organization's efforts in promoting peace, security, and cooperation among nations. Let's continue to work in unity.
Right, that's our background on United Nations at 80. Sir, you're welcome again to the program.
Thank you so much.
Yes, my
Happy
first
to be here.
question, yes, thank you very much. My first question is, United Nations is celebrating 80 years. And at that time, many countries were still under colonial administration, just like Nigeria. Do you think the present structure of the UN caters for the benefits of those countries who, I would say, they are baby countries to the United Nations?
Let us take it, let's put it in perspective. The United Nations was bettered as a function of necessity. It was as a result of the Second World War that was very devastating. Death recorded was very high, and the world was strangulating itself. You see, people were trying to exterminate the earth itself. You saw what happened in that 1945 in Japan when America dropped 2 atomic bombs. That is still effect is still lingering today. They decided to come together, the world power at that time, in San Francisco in America around July of 1945. and to say, guys, let's talk. We cannot go and kill ourselves. For us to be able to live in this earth together, we must come to some certain level of understanding. As per boundaries must be created, we must not kill ourselves. It wasn't a function of 3 countries. Actually, it was 50 countries that attended that convention where the UN Charter was drafted. Then in October 24th, 51 countries signed the charter. The UN Charter is like the constitution of every country. This one is not the world constitution. It is the document that regulates relationship between countries of the world. As we speak, 193 countries are signatories to that charter, and they have 2 observer status country, that is the Palestine and the Vatican City. So to that extent, you will say that the influence of the UN is pervasive. It covers all the countries of the world. Only one country had exited membership and came back almost immediately, Indonesia, at a time for diplomatic purpose. So that is a country, that is an organization that can boast with all sense of authority that yes, as an organization, I am in control of the world. The only challenge that we have is in the Security Council. If not, other organs of the UN are very well represented. The General Council, for example, the General Assembly, for example, have all the countries equal. Votes is per one. No matter the biggest country and the smallest country have one vote at the General Assembly. But the Security Council, as an arm, is the most powerful and most influential part of the United Nations. And it has a very unique organizational system. Those 5 iconic countries that actually forged the United Nations at the time, I mean France, United Kingdom, China, United States, and I miss that.
Yes,
there are 5 of them.
You're talking about the Security Council.
Yeah, the Security Council.
I wanted to ask you a dicey question on that one. You mentioned the superpowers dominating the Security Council, and there are some other countries, little countries, even Africa, coming down to Africa. Nigeria has been agitating to be part of that Security Council. How do you think the UN can resolve that issue?
The Security Council is made up of 15 countries.
Yes.
5 of them are permanent members. The other 10 are elected. So of those permanent members, that is where the Russia, that is the USSR, that later became the Confederation of Russia, that is making the 5 countries. They are permanent members and they have veto. It is that veto that is the challenge across the world. That is the only gray area in the organization and operations of the UN that many in the developing countries are looking at with some sense of, oh, it is oppressive. If not, the other 10 members are elected over terms. After their term, another set is elected. They take decisions together. But whatever decision they take, one of the 5 that I listed earlier, that is Russia, France, United Kingdom, United States of America, and China. Any of them can say whatever those, the rest, maybe 14 of them have taken a decision. One will now say, I veto it. And the thing comes to naught. It does not make sense in real terms. But I think why they did it at the time was because of the exigency of that time. Because these 5, we actually betrothed the world like a colossus. So what I will think will happen now, like it was very vehemently canvassed by the Vice President of Nigeria at the last UN conference last month or so, is that other countries should be made permanent members. You should, for example, there's no African country at all. It's only China in Asia, and you have Russia and 2 in Europe and America. I would think that instead of 5 permanent members, they may increase the number. They remove the issue of veto. Okay. If they can make 50 permanent members, for example, and 10 elected members, making 25, it will be more representative of the people. Because if you even look at the ratio at which they started, if 51 had 15, then 193 having 57 will not be out of point. But if it is 50, it becomes rowdy, and the decision will also be difficult to reach. So I would suggest 25, 15 permanent, maybe 3 in Africa. They cannot share the rest as they like. Then they will share according to demography and influence. Okay. That way, there will be representation, there will be that sense of belonging. But I must mention, without any fear of contradiction, that the UN is the best thing that has happened to the world as far as world peace is concerned, because peace is a very fragile commodity. Even as we are here, I may not know what we spark off your anger, then you see peace collapse. Talk more of human relations that have to deal with resources.
Okay, so allow me come in here. Talking about peace, despite the UN effort in, reiterating peace among nations of the world, we still have wars happening like Gaza, Ukraine, and what have you. What do you think they can do differently to settle this and promote peace genuinely amongst the countries?
Well, the issue of conflicts is inevitable in human relations, in international relations, in even communal relationship. There's no way people are going to live together without conflicts, because there's no way our interests will not clash some way or the other. But what is not right is for those conflicts to remain unresolved. And the reason that I personally have observed that have caused the conflicts in Gaza and that of Ukraine to have persisted is as a result of some a kind of cold war that is happening between some of the major world powers. For example, if China and America are at one and they are working together in harmony, reining in Russia against its invasion of Ukraine would have been easier. But the fact is that tacitly China is supportive of its global friend Putin, or the Russian nation. So as a result of that intercourse, China is not able to go against Russia. And if China is tacitly supportive of Russia, Russia is likely to take some actions that it would ordinarily not take if the tacit support of China was not there. It's just like one young man who ordinarily will conduct himself having a giant behind him, will go and slap even a taller man, and we'll be very sure that his friend will support him, and that the fight will be. So America, who is also another giant on the other side, even though very sympathetic of Ukraine's position, can also come and fight pointedly against Russia, so as not to provoke the other giant, China. You see, the issue of power is relative. There's no one that have it absolutely, and because of the issue of nuclear proliferation among these nations, they are all self-respecting, so that shame will not come. So they are not using diplomacy to see how they caution it. But fortunately, Ukraine had not become a member of NATO. That is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If they were a member, that means they will be able to, that is America and other allies will be able to take action in protection of their member country, but that is what is not available. And in the last 2 decades, the influence of UN has increasingly decreased as per its assertive role in protecting peace across the world.
Okay, so let's bring this down to Nigeria now. We hear about the United Nations promoting peace, and now we still have terrorism and banditry and victims that are yet to be aided. So what do you think the United Nations can do to help us? We have heard them say they are working hand in hand with the government, but what do you think that they can do to retrieve those victims of terrorism and banditry in Nigeria?
Well, the United Nations is an interventionist organization. It is not a country, and it does not take responsibility for what happens within a sovereign nation. United Nations taking over Nigeria's problem will tantamount to taking over the country, and thereby undermining our sovereignty. The only thing they can do in the face of the callousness of terrorists and banditry grouping through the length and breadth of the country is to support government, and that support must also be done in a way that does not undermine the sovereignty of the country. I think that is not their responsibility. Their support is welcome, and through their many so many organs within the UN, they have done so much for this country through UNICEF, through all these human rights organizations, through their women empowerment programs, through this SDG and MDG, the Millennium Development Goals, and the SDGs. They've done so much in helping the country to grow.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Your last comment. What do you think the UN of the future should aim at?
Yes, the UN of the future should be that organization that assists in helping the people to cement their relationship more. I think there is still much demarcation. I think there is still this difference is still too much. Let the whole world know themselves as a common citizenry under one umbrella.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for coming on Morning Delight. Minority leader representing Ovia Northeast. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on Morning Delight. All right, let's continue the show now, but before we go on, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, we are going to the kitchen now. Let's see what our chef for today has in store for us on Quick Cuisine. Let us see Quick Cuisine.
Hello and welcome to the Quick Cuisine segment of the program Morning Delight. I am Hope Ihazwangbe, your chef for today. Well, today we'll be making banga rice, and banga rice is a local rice that is well known in our country. These are the ingredients we'll be using to make the banga rice. We have already parboiled rice. Then this is the most important recipe for today, the already pounded banga itself, but we've not actually extracted the oil, which we'll be doing. Then we have our stock, the chicken and fish that we'll be using. Then we have our already blended onions. This is the banga recipe, the banga spice. Then this is already blended crayfish, and our seasonings, our salt and blended pepper. And now let's dive into making this meal. Stay with us. The first thing we have to do is to boil our stock. After that, we stir. It's time for us to extract the juice from the already pounded palm kernel. Okay, now We are done matching this. Let's filter it now. Look at the juice we are extracting from it right now. And so now let's take it to the gas. Now let's just add the stock we got from boiling our protein into the pots. The next thing for us to do is to add our blended onion into. Now it's time for us to add our blended pepper. The next thing to add is our blended crayfish. Most important ingredient for today, the banga spice itself. And the next thing to add is our seasoning. I'll be adding just 2 of it because I already used some to boil the stock that I added to it. And now it's time for us to check our banga rice. Oh. Okay, our banga rice is ready to be served and tested. Well, actually, I will not be testing it alone as I have a guest with me.
Inviting already.
Thank you.
See if it will taste as good as it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, ma.
Honestly, it's nice. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a very enticing meal to have even had to see. Now we'll be going to our second guest, Pastor Prestil Uravier, a special effect makeup artist. Before we go to him, let's take a look at his picture frame.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for coming on Morning Delight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're talking about makeup, special effects. Yeah, I hear you're an expert on that field. So now, I want you to tell us, what's the difference between special effect makeup and regular makeup?
Okay, regular makeup has to do with enhancing your natural beauty, but special effect has to do with creating another person in you. A young girl can be turned into a monster, so you create effect, wound, cuts, and so on from special effects.
Okay, so you're saying special effect is used for like, is it movies?
It's for movie, for stage,
Just stage.
for stage, for movie. But you can't wear special effect makeup for your daily activities or for occasions. So you use it for cinemas, for stage, for movies, for theater.
Okay. So is there any other name that is used for special effect? And what kind of skill do you need to be an expert in special effects makeup?
Another name for special effect makeup can also be referred to as a prosthetics makeup. Prosthetics makeup. It's most people call it SF. specialized SF makeup.
Okay.
But generally call it at look at it as a prosthetics makeup, because you have to create some. With prosthetics you can sculpt some parts. Let's say you want to create a deformed leg.
Yes.
There are ways you can amputate my leg now. With prosthetics you create another leg for it. So you can create features that are not in existence. With prosthetics you make that possible.
Okay.
Then if you talk of special skill, to me, just all you need is the ability to create. You have knowledge. First, you have the interest. Because today you see everybody going into makeup or want to learn makeup, but you hardly see those who want to go into special effect makeup. Because it requires knowledge, it requires skill, it requires creativity. So that is just all it requires.
Is there a special place for learning such skill, or is an inbuilt
as much as it's an inbuilt, but there are also special place you can learn. If you want to learn, like I learned on my own. I'm a trained creative artist. I'm a sculptor. So that pushed me into prosthetics. But I enhanced my knowledge when I attended Deyo Creative Academy 2014 to enhance my skill.
Okay, sir. So, being a special effect makeup artist, what are those challenges you must have faced along the way?
There is one I will not forget in haste. That was the days I was learning. Like I said, I learned on my own. So I was on a set to create a wound, and till date, that still happened to be one of my best jobs. I created that wound from materials I felt, they are friendly. But you know, the skins react to material differently. And that was a set of a film production, a haka. You know, at the end, it was a saw for an aged woman who is also a witch, to say. So that saw never healed. And I created that, it was wow. But you know, 3 weeks after the production, that place, there was a natural mark, and a mark that came out from that place. So the lady came and just appealed, said, just do everything. And I later realized that I needed to have protected the skin.
Okay.
You understand? So that gave me another knowledge. So when in Deyo Academy, we were taught some of those ways. You can protect your skin, even if you want to create a gunshot, that even what you are putting there will not affect the skin.
Okay, so what are those things you need to acquire before you venture into SFX scale, like the industry? What are those things you need to know or do?
Just the materials. But the truth is that in Benin here or in Edo State, FSF materials are very expensive, and you hardly get it to buy in Benin. Most of the products we use are ordered from abroad, and the closest place you can get is even Lagos. So there are challenges when you need a job urgently, you don't have that material, you are stranded. So it comes to a time we have to start studying to know how to create some of those materials ourselves, like what we'll be seeing later, like the wax. I created my own wax, so I have to make research how to create wax. But there's one that you still find difficult to create yourself, like the spirit gum, the latex. But those ones, they are ordered from abroad. And the challenge again with a material like latex is, if you don't use it, it goes bad. So it has a time limit. So if you just buy, so okay, I want to stock, and you are not using it, it will go bad. So you run at a loss. So those are some of the challenges with special effects.
Okay.
Materials.
All right, sir. Let's see You are going to do something for us now, live in the studio.
Okay.
What are you doing for us? Is this special effect makeup or regular makeup?
No, special.
Special effect.
Regular people are too used to
They are
that,
used
so
to
we
that.
want to see a
So
different-
right now, we are going to take you live on the special effects makeup.
Okay. All right.
So, sir, on an average, how long does it take to create a special effect makeup?
Although it depends on what you want to create. It usually takes time. So if you are on a movie set, so you have to, director will have to work with your time. You start ahead to get the best.
I think you should let the viewers know whatever you are putting on
Okay.
the face.
Yeah,
you
this
should just
just-
let them know what you are doing.
Okay, this is the dry powder to prepare the base. Like I said before, what I applied before was just to make the skin dry.
Okay.
I'm going to give her an aged skin.
Make her like how old? Like a grandma or?
Yeah, we are working towards.
Okay.
She already looks different.
Yes, she started to look different.
Yes.
We just add a little of gray hair. This is the regular Vaseline. It's for the purpose of
Making the hair white.
making the hair white.
Okay.
But for this purpose now, for just television, I'm using Vaseline.
Okay.
But if it's a movie, I won't use this so that it can stay longer for shoots.
Is this something you'd like to venture into?
Praise.
Yes. I
Wow,
think it looks good.
It takes a special skill for it, and something that if you are interested in it, everybody has their own calling. But some of your tools, sir, are they found here in the country, or some of them are imported? Or I want to know the costs implications for all these. Is it very costly or is it affordable?
All these tools, they are affordable, but it's just the materials that are expensive. Like this, now I make this myself, the spatula.
Okay.
So, but you can still get spatula to buy from the regular.
What a transformation.
Yes, so it's really, really changing. She's changing.
Yeah.
I would
Within a
love to
twinkle of
see
an
the
eye.
outcome, the final outcome.
Yeah.
Changing a 20-something-year-old or to a grandma.
How
That's
interesting.
special.
And I also heard that AI is now like a challenge to special effect artists. How is that?
Not only special effects, it's general.
Yes, it's general.
AI is really a big challenge. But if you know what you are doing, there are still some things for now you cannot get with AI. That it still has to be naturally done or physically done like this.
Okay, to give that natural feeling.
Yeah. With AI, you still have to study to use that. Okay.
Just keep us updated on the whole process of.
All I'm doing now is just to transform the look of the skin.
Okay.
Once one is getting older, your skin color too also change. Like I said before, what I applied was to give her the first dry skin. So that's remove that oil part from her skin. So I have to blend everything very well now. Start getting what I want.
Okay, and would your makeup give that shrinking feeling of an old woman?
Yeah.
Okay, we look forward to that.
So after applying this now, when the process of removal, is it a tedious process? Is it very easy to remove the makeup?
There's also material for removing that too.
There's a special material for it?
Oh. Depends on what you apply.
Okay.
Like what I'm doing now, you can apply pink oil. Pink oil will help remove the. When we get to that, maybe when we are going to do a cut.
Okay.
To do a cut, we use a pink oil to remove that.
And can this special effects, can it be sometimes very pressurizing, or it's just easy?
It's not easy.
Okay.
That is the truth. Although it depends on what you also want to achieve again. It's not that easy.
And how do you handle time management?
You start early. You start early. If you are doing much harder work than this, so you start ahead of time.
Well, most of what you are applying now, it doesn't have any after effect on the skin.
No. These are skin friendly materials.
Okay.
All I'm using now, majority of it is what you use for a daily makeup.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's say this lady has a cut now.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we call spirit gum.
Okay.
So you don't get it here. You have to import the spirit gum.
Okay.
So this is what help you to fix your wax on wherever you want to apply. So I'm just trying to say now, give her a cut on her face. This is the wax I talked about earlier on.
Yes.
I made this myself.
Yes.
Okay.
From everyday material. This is made with flour and Vaseline.
Mixing flour and Vaseline.
Flour and Vaseline.
Okay.
That's our normal baking flour.
Normal baking flour.
Wow. That's a great innovation.
It's really looking like a bruise. Wow.
Now, after applying that, you look for a skin color.
Okay.
It must not show that it's artificial. So you look for a skin color.
To kind of give it a tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are times if I know my artist I'm going to work on, this wax I will get a color prepared down.
I think the viewers will want to know the material you're using right now.
This normal powder.
Okay, normal
powder.
Okay.
For our makeup.
Okay.
What I apply earlier is wax, like I said. That's the foundation wax. Then we also have to now have blood. This specially fed blood.
Okay.
So I'm going to be applying blood. But this blood is also made by me. But at first I have to buy. This container, buying from abroad, costs a lot of money. So when it finished, I have to start making my own blood.
So what did you mix up together to get this?
Okay.
Or is it a secret?
It's not a secret. I can teach as we want to learn.
Okay.
Like what one of the things we learn at Del York, they will ask you what is the source of the injury. So when you know the source of your injury, then you know how to apply the blood, and also know how to create the cut.
Okay.
These are things you also have to find out what is the source. It's not just coming to say, okay, I want to create a cut there. What gave her the cut? So with this now, this can be a cut from a knife. If it's for stage, this we have to exaggerate the wound so that it can be visible from afar. But since it's TV, so we play less.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, wow. So thank you. We are happy that you came here and you did something nice, gave us a nice, beautiful, special effect makeup. Thank you very much, sir, for coming on
so much.
Morning Delight.
Okay.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, that's our makeup artist giving us a nice show there. You can see our model there having a very, very old and injured face. We can visibly see that. Moving on now on Morning Delight, let us go into our entertainment news. Let's see what's trending in entertainment news.
On the entertainment desk, popular Nigerian musician and entrepreneur Oluwatosin Ajibade, better known as Mr. Easy, has revealed that he's not pursuing a new line of work outside the music scene, online streaming. The skin-tight crooner made a disclosure on his social media handle while responding to a fan who questioned whether he had abandoned music for content creation. On international scene, Chris Brown is suing for $500 million after a documentary depicted him with history of violence. The lawyer singer filed a lawsuit against Warner Bros. Discovery, alleging the media giant defamed him in a 2024 documentary, claiming that the R&B star had a long history of sexually abusing women.
So much interesting gist we have there. Now some events came up during the week. Let's take a look at them.
On the top stories for the week, ASU suspends 2 weeks warning strike. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has announced the suspension of its 2 weeks warning strike, giving the federal government 1 month window to conclude the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government ASU agreement and address other unresolved issues affecting the nation. Second top stories, Edo State Restructures Ministries assigned portfolios to commissioners. Edo State Governor Senator Madu Bevolo has approved a comprehensive restructuring of the state ministries. Secretary of the State State government, Musa Ihilo, in a statement said the restructuring led to the creation of additional ministries and the revival of some default ones, bringing the total number of ministers in the state to 28. This strategic reform is designed to mirror the structure of the federal level and ensure the seamless alignment of the governance shine agenda with the renewed hope agenda of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. According to the statement, Felix Ahaboy will head the Ministry of Works, Andrew Ijegbai, Ministry of Mining, Prince Kazim Afegwa, Ministry of Information and Strategy. Others include Paul Uhombamu, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Omo Anabo, Ministry of Business, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jerry Uwungwe, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Professor Mo Oduigbo Musa, Ministry of Livestock Development, Musa Adams, Ministry of Environment and Sustainability, and Dr. Siri Adams Oshomole, Ministry of Health. Also appointed are Dr. Emmanuel Iyamu, Ministry of Education, Dr. Lucky Esegbe, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Honorable Yakubu Musa, Ministry of Lands and Housing, Ohime Ehi Jameto, Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, Honorable Etionsa Ogbewi, Ministry of Science and Technology. The new appointees also include Dr. Washichi Osifo, Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Honorable Charity Amanyevu, Ministry of Youth Affairs, Eugenia Abdullahi, Ministry of Women Affairs, Mari Idaome, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Usembo Ige, Ministry of Power, and Vincent Wadiai, Ministry of Oil and Gas Resources. Additional appointees include Emmanuel Kwebo, Ministry of Finance, Dr. Elizabeth Ebusale, Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Saturday Dehe, Ministry of Transportation, Professor Roland Otaru, SAN, Ministry of Justice, and Godwin Ehisehi, Ministry of Labour and Productivity. Others are Kenneth Ihesihe, Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, and Ebai Odianuse, Ministry of Public Security and Safety. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy is yet to have a commissioner.
Say a big thank you to the Edo State government for its innovation. Now moving on to the world of sport, see what we have for you.
Super Eagles midfielder Alex Iwobi became the Nigerian with the most number of Premier League appearances after he played for Fulham against Arsenal last Saturday in the London derby. Iwobi has had a decent career and he has been enjoying life at Craven Cottage since joining the club from Everton in January 2023. He has been a regular under coach Marco Silva as he has consistently delivered the goods for Fulham. Iwobi made history as it was his 299th Premier League game, which made him the Nigerian with the most appearances in the competition. Before the international break, he was joint tap with Shola Ameobi on 298, but his appearance against Arsenal made him the undisputed first at the moment. Iwobi has been playing in the Premier League since 2015-2016 season, when he got promoted from the Arsenal Academy to the senior team. Still on the English Premier League this week, here are the features. Became the second African nation to win the Under-20 Football World Cup after beating Argentina 2-0 in the final in Santiago, Chile on Saturday. Yassi Zabiri opened the scoring in the 12th minute with a free kick and doubled Morocco's lead 70 minutes later from a close-range shot. Argentina, who would hold the record with 6 titles, lost the final for the second time after the defeat by Brazil in 1983. Morocco's path to glory was the Herculean task, drawn into the tournament's so-called group of death, alongside football powerhouses Spain, Brazil and Mexico, all former under-20 champions. The Moroccans defied expectations. They topped the group with 6 points after a 2-0 win against Spain, 2-1 triumph over Brazil, and narrow 1-0 loss to Mexico. The team then eliminated South Korea 2-1, the United States 3-1, and France 1-0, en route to their historic final.
Right, on that sporting note, we have come to the end of another exciting edition of Morning Delight. Don't forget to join us, same station, same time next week on the program. But remember, there is a repeat on the program every Friday. And don't forget to join us on all our social media handles for a recap on Morning Delight. So till we see you, same station, same time next week. My name is John Ime and
I am Praise Audio. Thanks for staying tuned.
Thank you very much and have a blessed morning.
Bye.
Bye.